Hi. I believe that my strongest speech throughout the semester was my second informative speech. This is because I described an event that I had already done myself many times. Also, I had plenty of visual aids during my presentation, such as rags, the socket, oil, and a funnel, which is more than enough to convey my message. Also, the method that I framed my speech was through a step-by-step process. That way my audience could follow me as I went along with my speech. Also, I believe I did pretty well in that speech because I was able to effectively cite my sources. The classmate that I felt that had the strongest speech was Ashley Sandoval. Her persuasive speech was a very good one that I felt that she was able to effectively convey her message. I felt that she did a really good job because she addressed the negative stigma behind organ donation, which is as soon as you're an organ donor, do you just become a vessel of organs or are you still a patient? Yet she was able to fully address that and reassure the audience that if you are an organ donor, you still get treated 100% like a patient, and saving your life is the number one priority. Also, one thing that I would critique that she could do better on would be to get a better angle on her visual aid with the camera, because I'm sure it was very visible to the audience. However, since it was dark and it was projected towards a TV, I couldn't tell very well what the visual aid was. But overall, it was a very effective speech. For my story speech, I organized it chronologically, which is based on time. The reason why I chose to do that was because in case that I forgot what happened next during my speech, all I had to do was quickly access it through my memories. And I feel that I was able to practically convey every single memory and event throughout my speech effectively. So, for my persuasive speech, I used Monroe's motivational sequence, which is basically uh, laid out into 5 steps in the book Public Speaking for College and Career by Gregory. Those 5 steps are as follows. First, get the attention of the audience. That's simple. I started off my speech by giving a large statistic. Second is establish the need. The need was established when I gave statistics as well about the effects of alcohol on your body and what most people like to believe happens to them when they start drinking. Then I satisfied the need, which is step 3, by conveying, by giving another source that disproved the myth of how to sober up, which I explained that it's only through time and it cannot be done through exercise, coffee, or a cold shower, as most people like to believe. Then step 4, I visualized the future by imploring the audience to imagine their futures with a permanent criminal record and how that would impact their career and their lives. And finally, I called them to action by being preventative in their actions by using either the designated driver system or by using other services such as Uber, Lyft, and Carpool. I believe that my speeches improved throughout the semester because when I first started, I was really camera shy and I like to use a lot of word fillers. And word fillers are described by the books as things that aren't actually words and can be said such as and basically just to stall while you regain your train of thought. Also, I felt that I used an adequate amount of hand gestures throughout all of my speeches, so I felt that stayed pretty constant all throughout. Also, I believe that I could have done better with my visual aids all throughout my speeches. I think I didn't show enough of them, and whenever I did, It was probably for a brief moment, therefore, maybe the audience understood my visual aid, but the camera wasn't able to fully capture it. Also, another thing that I could have improved on was on the tone of my voice. I could have, whenever I post a question, I could have used a suggestive tone, and whenever I introduced a shocking statistic, I could have elevated my tone instead of just keeping a monotone tone throughout my speeches that could possibly make my audience get bored of me. My professional goals include graduating from Texas A&M with my degree in construction science, and afterwards obtaining a job as a project manager or a superintendent. Either way, both of those jobs require me to convey specific information to other people. And thanks to this class, I believe that I now know the method of how to memorize an important speech, how to correctly implore others to action, and how to effectively get the attention of my audience. So these are all useful tools and abilities that I have now gained throughout this class that I'm sure will serve me well throughout my future.